Morning, beloved. Let's get started today. Esther chapter 2, verse 19. When the virgins were assembled for the second time, Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate. During this time, two of the king's officers became angry and conspired to assassinate King Xerxes. But Mordecai found out about the plot, told Queen Esther, who reported it to Xerxes, giving Mordecai the credit. And after being investigated and found to be true, the two officials were impaled on poles. All this was recorded in the book of the annals in the presence of the king. So, Mordecai uncovers a plot. Due to his vigilant concern for Esther's well-being, he's often at the king's gate outside the palace checking on her. So he uncovers an assassination plot to kill Xerxes. The text includes another seemingly insignificant bit of information. This is it. It is logged into the records crediting Mordecai with protecting the king. And now we meet a new character. In literature, we would call him the antagonist, where Esther and Mordecai would be the protagonists. In Esther chapter 3, verse 1, after these events, King Xerxes honored Haman, son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, elevating him higher than all the other nobles. All the royal officials knelt down to Haman, for the king commanded this. It was a law. But Mordecai would not kneel down or pay him honor. Now, to the present-day reader, this introduction of Haman's heritage means very little. But to an Israelite, the term Agagite came with much dreadful baggage. Shortly after the children of Israel escaped from Egypt, the very first nation who tried to destroy them, before they even established a homeland, were the Amalekites. God first commanded the Hebrews to destroy the Amalekites completely in Exodus chapter 17. And again, he commanded King Saul to destroy them. That is literally to wipe them out. It's terrible, but it's a great study. God commanded the Israelites to wipe them out because they would forever be enemies of the Jewish people. Saul did not obey, as noted in 1 Samuel chapter 15. He did not kill Agag, the king of the Amalekites. Guess who Haman's great-great-great-grandfather was? Right? Agag. Samuel does kill Agag. And here's the setup for the continued animosity of the descendants of the Amalekites, and more particularly Agag, toward the Jewish people. Now, although the text does not explicitly say why Mordecai will not bow down, it could be that he's finally taking a stand, identifying himself as a Hebrew and refusing to honor an enemy of his people. It is this action that is the next plot twist to our story. The ramifications of Mordecai's decision are potentially devastating and far-reaching. Esther chapter 3, verse 4. Therefore, the royal officials told Haman about Mordecai's behavior to see if it would be tolerated, for he had told them he was a Jew. Finally, he's coming out. After Haman has been honored by this conquering ruler and Xerxes established it as law, Mordecai has a decision to make. Do I obey God, who is determined that the Amalekites are his enemies, or do I obey my earthly ruler? This, in my opinion, is Mordecai's defining moment, where he's likely lived a life of some compromise. God is asking him, will you follow me and what I have purposed for you? Esther chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. When Haman saw that Mordecai would not kneel down or pay honor, he was enraged. Yet having learned who Mordecai's people were, he scorned the idea of killing only Mordecai. Instead, Haman looked for a way to destroy all Mordecai's people, the Jews, throughout the whole kingdom of Xerxes. Just like his forebears, Haman the Amalekite was dead set on eliminating the whole nation of Israel. Haman comes up with a plan without even asking King Xerxes. So confident is he that he has the king's ear. Haman is, also politically power-hungry and arrogant. So he frames his plan in a less than honest way so that he can achieve the ends he desires without appearing petty. In verse 7, in the 12th year of Xerxes, the lot, that is, the die is cast, selecting a day and a month for Haman to execute his plan. In verse 8, then Haman said to the king, there is a certain people dispersed among all the peoples of the provinces of your kingdom who keep to themselves. They do not obey the king's laws. Oh, you mean the one that commands them to bow down to you? It is not in the king's best interest to tolerate them. Let a decree be issued to destroy them, and I will give 10,000 talents of silver for the royal treasury. Haman resorts to bribery, knowing that the coffers are almost empty due to Xerxes' ill-advised attempts to conquer the Greeks. The command is given that on the 13th day of the 12th month, that's the month of Adar, all Jews, this is the edict, young and old, women and children, will be destroyed, killed, and annihilated, and their goods plundered. I mean, this guy had some kind of a vendetta. The king decrees this as a law and disperses his ancient history postal system to carry the command to all nobles and officials of all the peoples of his realm in every language, and he gives his signet ring to Haman. That is a sign that King Xerxes completely trusts Haman, and it's implying that Haman now is the second highest nobleman in all of Persia. The capital city of Susa is confused by this sudden disfavor toward an immigrant population that has heretofore been coexisting in peace with others. The Jews in Susa have been served notice that the Persian regime is coming after them. They are bereft and in mourning. But in contrast, Xerxes and Haman sit down for a drink. What can we learn from this portion of the story? What has happened or is happening in your life presently, or in the life of a loved one that you don't understand? Lord, why did you not answer my prayer about this? Or why are things not working out for me? Well, we may not know why we didn't get the job for which we applied, or that we didn't receive the scholarship that we so wanted, or get accepted into the university that we wanted, or maybe have that love interest return our love. We have not been forgotten or abandoned. God is working on something bigger for us and bigger than us. Now, I do not share this to be trite. It is not easy to be patient. It is not easy to endure hardship or injustice. But you are not forgotten or abandoned. Seek God. Spend time in His Word, asking Him to highlight promises onto which you can cling. Trust Him, beloved. I love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.